Athletic Services, talking tonight about sportsmanship, coaching, all of the above, fan behavior, all of the above. Gentlemen, thank you for coming out.
Thank you very much, Mike. Great to be here.
Have a beer. Let's start with it. Obviously, it's football season for a lot of people. Football is an interesting sport because we're fighting numbers right now, trying to get numbers back up in different places. As you guys see it, what are the most important things for coaches and associations to bring to the table to get kids to have a good experience playing football?
I think the biggest thing is they just need to promote the safety. So that concussion thing has kind of fizzled a little bit and people understand that it is still a safe game. The other thing that they need more than anything is just making sure that they teach the proper techniques, the proper tackling, give them the education, because as we were saying before we got on air, they're volunteer coaches.
They may or may not be well versed. They might have played in the NFL. They might not have ever played at all. That's the gamut that you run when you're talking about youth coaches. Mark, if you're going to sit down and give a clinic to coaches on how to teach it so that it's fun and they get something out of it, what would you tell coaches?
Well, I think fun is the name of the game in the youth levels. I think that's what's cost us most of the participation numbers. Everybody's focused on performance, trying to get young kids to perform at a higher and higher level, when really youth sports is designed to be fun, to get them engaged, have them try new things, build confidence, build those different character traits, so they'll try new things and kids will take a risk and build some confidence, learn how to work together. But everybody's so focused on micromanaging the performance piece that we're driving the fun out of it, and kids are quitting right and left.
And so they quit. When I say kids quit sports, does it vary a lot from sport to sport, or is there one kind of one reason that is symbolic and systematic?
I think what we've seen is they get pushed so far that, for example, for baseball at the age of 13, it's amazing how many people have just dropped out. They just don't want to play anymore because they get pushed at such a young age.
Is that about the age that you see it?
Yep, 13 years old. I think one of the biggest things that we're now trying to do through the educational side is you have people that come in as young parents, they have 3rd, 4th grade kids, and they're just getting into possibly the travel experience, and they have no idea how to navigate through that. They have that invisible umbilical cord that's connecting, it's wrapped around the court or the field. They're trying to understand how to get through it, and they don't know how to because they just think that they need to work through this and make it happen. And that's why we have the issues with bad sportsmanship, bad behavior, yelling and berating the officials or the umpires, because they just do not know how to navigate through this process. And I think that's the thing that's missing more than anything. And at the MYS, we're going to try as much as we can in our own way to get education out to our partners, the parent volunteer organizations, so they can get those coaches maybe in check at an earlier age.
Okay, Mark, I want to tell you, I'm just not even fly in the face of what you guys do. It's my observation, being involved in youth. I'm not baseball specifically. They play too many games. They need more practice time and less games. We played 45 games this year, and our team won state. And I would say this: they'd have been better players if they'd played half as many games and taken the other half and practiced the fundamentals. Now, having said that, I don't know, and I'm interested to get your opinions. Is the purpose of youth sports to allow them to play a bunch of games just so they have experiences, or is it to develop players and give them a chance to play on the varsity someday? I'm not quite sure what the goal is. What do you think?
Well, I think the chance to play on the varsity is going to take care of itself, right? The funnel narrows on its own. The problem is we're trying to narrow it at 8 and 9 years old now, because we think we can look at the kids and say, this kid's going to be a good baseball player or whatever particular sport it is, and you can't. And so we've gotten away from the purpose. The purpose is development, right? Helping kids try new things, build confidence, get exercise, start to get the physical characteristics. That's just one piece of it, right? Whether you can hit a ball or throw a ball, that's just the physical side. There's social, mental, spiritual, all those things, the different sides of this thing. Well, sports is a great classroom outside of the classroom for that stuff.
The best, I would say.
It is, yeah, but we're all focused on the physical piece, right? And we built the model in most cases around that kid that can put the ball in the net, or shoot the puck in the net, or hit the ball the further or throw the hardest when he's 8 or 9 years old. Well, time's the great equalizer, right?
And the late bloomer may quit before he understands he's good.
And I think that's happening a lot, frankly. I mean, I think
that happens in the big schools all the time.
Absolutely. So we've got to get back to youth sports should be about having fun, about learning how to, engage, try a bunch of different things, keep them engaged as long as they can, and let the process take care of itself. The math at the NCAA hasn't changed for a long time.
No, you can't fight that.
Right? Yeah, it's not going to. It is what it is. But parents, they're all sitting home watching the Little League World Series right now thinking,
well, that's a great point.
If my kid's there, well, no, they don't need to do that.
No,
they really don't.
And that is the absolute downside to the grandiose of something like a Little League World Series. Is you sit there and you go, well, my kid's about that age. He's never going to get to that level. Hang tight, And by the way, Little League is just, and Dawson, not everybody is in the Little League program. Meaning some cities subscribe to Little League, some subscribe to different forms of. You may have the best team in the state, and you're not going to Little League World Series simply because your city isn't in the Little League chain, and people get confused about that because they assume everybody in the age group is in the same, because Coon Rapids goes all the time, but not everybody in the South and the West are even in that same, same league, so to speak. Parents, there's this whole thing about do you push, do you stay back, do you whatever. What have been your observations of parents that do it right?
Parents that do it right, I think when they know at a young age that they need to just provide that fun environment, let the kid figure out, ask the questions in the car ride home. Don't just focus on the negative side of, well, what did you do wrong today? Focus on the good things within the game and at a younger age, because it keeps them engaged for a longer period of time. If you push them at a young age, they want to get out of it before they know that they have developed and become a really good player. And I think that's the thing that we're trying to develop right now through our Trusted Coaches platform, is this parent piece to get out to people. Now the thing is that not everybody's going to listen to that stuff. Those people that need to hear it, they're not going to listen to it. But what we want to do is create that culture and change the culture, that conduct first environment that Mark has preached, that the other people that are the parents on that team, they can say, that's not the right way to act, that's not the right way to behave. We need to make sure that we create a conduct first environment, a quality environment for these kids to participate in, so it's not toxic. And that's the thing why we have created this strategic partnership with Mark and Youth First, is because we want that sportsmanship. And more than anything, in our community presentations we did this spring through our grade state basketball championships, we had 20 of them around the state. It's a simple thing, respect. Respect more than anything. But that message is not clear when you get into that environment of the youth sports environment. People lose that and forget that. And it's so simple. When we were growing up, that was the way it was. But in today's age, we need to get that back to those sportsmanship, teamwork, cultural interaction through youth sporting competition. That's what we need more than anything.
And Mark, what does Youth First want to be about? What's the mission statement?
Connecting conduct, character, and community to youth activity programs. So we start with our conduct environment, which, I guess 7 or 8 years ago, we started working with officials. I've got a background of coaching and officiating, and there's such a shortage of officiating across the country now, right? And all new officials try it in the youth environment. And these college kids, high school kids, or young adults that come in and try to umpire or officiate a game, and then they get nitpicked and yelled and screamed at. Well, they're like, I'm not going to keep doing that. I'm not going to come back. So we knew we had to do something. So we started down in Owatonna, and working with the officials, we did parent meetings at the beginning of the year. Told the parents, hey, listen, here's what the coaches have agreed to. Now we held that up in front of the parents. So here's how you support it as a parent. And then we had the officials start rating the team, which is players, coaches, and parents, after every game. So they knew somebody was watching. And it changed right away.
Did it really?
It got better right away.
That's interesting. So if you feel like, it changes your dynamic, you feel like you're being watched.
Yeah. And I think, there's a couple pieces. First of all, I think we reminded everybody. So like at the grade state tournament, we sent out emails prior to the tournament. We had signage up everywhere. They had handouts when they checked into the admissions desk, right? So you're creating that awareness on the front end.
Putting everybody on notice.
Right, and then secondly, letting them know, all right, somebody's watching and we are going to hold you accountable. You're going to get graded on these 3 simple things, right? And it has nothing to do with whether you won or lost the game. It all has to do with how you played the game.
So, Mike, it's a conduct first environment. I think I talked to you about this the last time we were on the air in March. We had the Great State Championships, 1,450 teams, 32 different sites, 2 separate weekends. We brought youth first and their conduct first environment in. We went from 13 major incidences in 2018, meaning major with parents.
What constitutes major?
Parents in the stands, almost into a fight where we have to call the police on the court, where between the officials and the coaches, where site director had to be contacted, police have to be called. This year, at the completion of our Great State Championship, we had 1 major incident.
1.
And it came back to putting people on notice, letting them know that it's about the kids, keep the competitive energies in check, and respect the officials and the opponents.
Okay. When we come back, I want to ask you one simple question for those parents that are thinking about out there. Who should not coach? And this isn't. I'm not trying to admonish you, but who should not coach a youth sports team? Because a lot of people might not know if they're qualified or not. Who should not coach a youth sports team? I'll ask that question when we come back. Sports to the Max, live from the State Fair. Stay with us.
Sports to the Max.
Dave Leader with the question, do you need a new kitchen? Well, the Cabinet Store is having its first ever State Fair sale. That's right. Special fair discounts on all showplace build to your order custom cabinets. All styles and wood types on sale. Interest-free financing, free design and quotes. Huge Cambria countertop showroom. State Fair sale going on now. Stop in and see them at the Cabinet Store in Apple Valley. Or you can visit online too at thecabinetstore.com.
Life insurance. It hasn't changed in years. You buy it, you pay for it, and then, well, you know what happens. Log on to livinginsurance.com.